Hi, I'm Miriam.
And I'm Caitlin, and we're going to talk about how we need to abandon the fast fashion industry and look for more eco friendly alternatives. So, the fast fashion industry has a bucket of issues surrounding it, from human rights violations to a plethora of issues related to the environment. All right, so for those who don't know, fast fashion is the industry that kind of surrounds getting clothes out fast to follow the trends. It's pretty self-explanatory in the name with fast fashion. So it's about producing as much as trendy clothes as possible in amount of time to profit off the trend at the time. But once it's over, all those clothes get thrown away into the landfills and it's just a giant waste.
Yeah, so speaking of landfills, every second, the equivalent of one garbage truck of textiles is landfilled or burned, which is very detrimental to the environment. And if nothing changes, by 2050, the fashion industry will use up a quarter of the world's carbon budget.
On top of causing a whole bunch of just carbon issues, it is also disastrous for marine life, just like their marine ecosystems. So the brands that produce fast fashion clothing use a bunch of dyes. And once these dyes have been processed, they are just dumped into the creeks that flow into the streams and oceans. And in the end, we just have wildlife ingesting these synthetic dyes that can just lead to health issues and just a bunch of other, it just leads to a bunch of other issues. It's just another ending cycle. Another
Yeah.
addition to the water issue is that the industry uses a whole bunch of water. For example, a single cotton shirt requires just 700 gallons, and a pair of just simple pair of blue jean pants can use up to 2,000. And that water could probably be going to something better than a Forever 21 shirt that's going to be thrown out in 3 months. So there's an issue going on here.
Yeah. Um, And so a lot of fashion brands use synthetic fibers like polyester, nylon, and acrylic, which they take like hundreds of years to biodegrade. Um, and a lot of the microplastics that take forever to biodegrade, about 35% of them are from things like polyester and synthetic textiles like that.
Oh, and these microplastics, they're these tiny plastic beads. They're barely visible to us. But
Mhm.
they just end up in the ocean. Then again, wildlife's gonna end up ingesting it, clogging up their digestive system, leading to a whole bunch of other issues that could be avoided if a more eco-friendly approach was taken and we ended up avoiding synthetic fibers.
Yeah. And on average, people actually bought like 60% more garments in 2014 than they did in 2000 because of, I guess, fashion trends and stuff becoming more popular in the 2010s. Um, and fashion production makes up 10% of humanity's carbon emissions. So it's just not great in general, the kind of whole trendy fashion thing.
And then on top of the whole environmental disaster it just causes, it's also pretty bad for workers' rights and such. So a bunch of these factories are not really located in the U.S. They're more located in Asian countries. But fast fashion, it's all about pumping out clothes. They don't care about their workers. They're not giving them livable wages. It's just an overall disaster. And
Mhm.
an example of this is in 2013, an 8-story factory that housed a couple of these fast fashion garment productions burned down and collapsed, and it resulted in about 1,000 deaths and over 2,500 injuries just for producing some clothes that are gonna end up in a landfill in a year. It's just not really worth it. And
Yeah. And it is pretty easy to purchase fast fashion. I've definitely purchased fast fashion. I'm wearing like a skirt from Amazon right now because Amazon's just easy to use. And I've bought stuff from Forever 21 before, but there are plenty of other alternative ways to get clothes. Like you could go to a thrift shop or use apps like Depop where people sell their own clothes. um, there's plenty of other easy ways that can be cheap, uh, to get nice clothes that, other people have used before or more biodegradable.
You just touched this subject, but so we just listed all of these just awful impacts of fast fashion, and it like kind of
Hmm.
gets you thinking like, how is this even a thing? Which is like so bad for the environment. But like Miriam said, it is just super cheap and accessible to anyone. Like the stores in the mall, like H&M, Forever 21, you can just like pull up, get yourself like two full outfits for like $10. Like that's super
Yeah.
easy to do.
Hmm.
But then again, there's all that like disaster behind this clothing.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people, some people don't even know like what's going on. They just think it's like easy clothes. They have no idea, um, like what goes on behind the scenes and stuff, and the impact on the environment.
Hmm. Oh, another thing about like fast fashion clothing, like 99% of it is awfully made. So like people are
Hmm.
like, of course, like throwing it after a month, but there's also a thing like it's flat out falling apart to the point you have
Yeah.
to like you have to throw it away. Like it's basically garbage.
Yeah. Like you see stuff like on Twitter all the time, like people, you know, what I ordered versus what arrived, and it's like these horrible, like super cheap looking things because they try to make them so quickly and
Like from
um
Wish.
yeah, but yeah, like from Wish or like Shine or Romway or whatever.
Okay, so to kind of wrap things up, fast fashion just has an awful impact on like the environment, human rights, and it just adds to the whole landfill issue and carbon, all that global warming. Basically, there's a whole bunch of issues just for some cheap clothing, and that's the other issue. Like it's super cheap and accessible, so like we gotta come up with a solution to kind of fix it, whether it be like relying on more like eco-friendly solutions, like going away from synthetic fibers, or using eco-friendly dyes, or like relying more on the second-hand clothing industry.
But yeah, just make sure to spread the word about fast fashion because a lot of people don't know about it. And just maybe reconsider a couple of your purchases and try and find a more eco-friendly way um, to buy clothes. You don't have to follow all the trends. They're I was about to say most of them are ugly anyway. That's kind
Yeah,
of rude.
I mean we're all definitely guilty. Like there's no like no one here's like has a none of us are superior. You know what I'm saying? Like we're all guilty of this.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like it's just an issue all around.
Yeah. I've bought many like random clothes from like Forever 21 because I think they're cute, but it's not worth it in
And
the
then like you
end.
never wear it. She's in your closet.
Yeah. I literally have like a pile of stuff that's like popular in like 2017. I don't know what to do with it.
Life in a consumerist society.
True, true. Okay, well,
We can stop
I guess
recording.
that's
So
it. Yeah, 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 yeah. Bye. Okay.
bye.